On August 1, 1973, Vietnam and Singapore officially established diplomatic relations. In September 2013, the two nations entered into a strategic partnership. Currently, Singapore is the largest investor among ASEAN countries in Vietnam, ranks second out of 143 countries and territories investing in Vietnam. In the 19th century, Singapore was an important seaport in the Asia-Pacific region, strategically positioned along the maritime route between the Indian Ocean and the East Sea. Many Vietnamese merchants used to dock here to exchange goods, making it an important gateway for the Nguyen dynasty to venture into the wider world. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Prime Minister Vo Van Kiet and Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew met and suggested that both sides put aside the past and look towards the future. The official visit to Singapore by Chairman of the Council of Ministers Vo Van Kiet in November 1991 marked the beginning of a period of cooperation between the two countries. The shared commitment was strongly affirmed in the new context of the global and Southeast Asian situations. Significant obstacles have been overcome, paving the way for the development of friendship and cooperative relations. Even though I was no longer the Prime Minister at that time, we met at a state dinner hosted by my successor, Goh Chok Tong. As the party had just begun, Mr. Kiet stood up and walked over to me, placing his arm around my elbows in a semi-communist fashion, and asked if I could help Vietnam. I asked, how? He suggested that I become their economic advisor. In October 1993, General Secretary Du Moi embarked on an official visit to Singapore, marking the first visit of a highest-ranking Vietnamese leader to an ASEAN member country. During the dialogue, Singapore's Prime Minister Goh Chok Tong made a pledge: "We will do everything in our power to assist Vietnam in maintaining robust economic growth." Political and diplomatic relations between the two sides have taken continuous developmental strides. Singapore has also played an important role in facilitating the swift admission of Vietnam as the seventh member of ASEAN in July 1995. Based on the initiative from the meetings between Prime Minister Vo Van Kiet and his advisor, Lee Kuan Yew, the Vietnam-Singapore Industrial Park, VSIP, was first established in Song Bay, now Binh Duong. Prime Minister Goh Chok Tong stated that the VSIP is a symbol of the relationship between the two countries, and is considered the most successful project in economic cooperation between Vietnam and Singapore.
Khu công nghiệp Việt Nam Singapore ra đời đó, nó đưa cái Sông Bé có một bước phát triển nhảy vọt. Cái tầm cỡ của Singapore đó, họ có mối quan hệ nó rộng hơn mình. Họ đưa những nhà đầu tư lớn đến với mình. Và cái hình ảnh của Sông Bé, và hình ảnh của Việt Nam nó cũng sáng trên trường quốc tế.
Up to now, there are 14 VSIPs present in 10 provinces and cities of Vietnam with a total area of about 7,517 hectares, attracting $17.6 billion United States dollars of total investment capital, creating jobs for nearly 300,000 direct workers.
Our involvement in Vietnam is not only restricted to the VSIPs. One example is the Hanoi Superport in Vĩnh Phúc, which is the largest logistics infrastructure project spearheaded by a Singapore company. And the project, which was launched under the ASEAN Smart Logistics Network to support the ASEAN Connectivity Master Plan, reflects Vietnam's increasingly vital role in global and regional supply chains.
The culmination of that warm and trusting relationship was the decision to go to a strategic partnership agreed by both sides at the high-level talk on the occasion of General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trong's visit to Singapore in September 2012. The partnership was signed in Hanoi a year later, on the occasion of the 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries.
Có thể nói quan hệ Việt Nam-Singapore nửa thế kỷ qua đã chứng kiến cả những cái thăng trầm và những bước phát triển trên tất cả các lĩnh vực. Với cái sự chân thành và lòng tin ngày càng được củng cố, thì Singapore đã và đang trở thành người bạn gần gũi, đối tác kinh tế quan trọng đồng hành cùng với Việt Nam trong suốt cái chặng đường cải cách, mở cửa và phát triển của đất nước. Về phần mình thì Việt Nam cũng luôn quan trọng và mong muốn tiếp tục củng cố, thúc đẩy cái quan hệ đối tác chiến lược Việt Nam-Singapore.
The Vietnam-Singapore strategic partnership is developing very well. In just over a year, there have been 5 exchanges of high-level delegations between the two countries. Most recently, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and his wife had an official visit to Singapore, which yielded many substantive results, including the signing of an agreement to establish the Digital Economy Green Economy Partnership.
Vietnam has vast potential for renewable energy. Singapore is keen to collaborate on renewable energy and carbon credits for the long term. And this collaboration will strengthen energy security in Southeast Asia and help the region achieve our net zero carbon emissions target by 2050.
Mối quan hệ tốt đẹp này là nền tảng, là cơ sở để cho các nhà đầu tư của hai nước đến đầu tư cho nhau vì cái lợi ích của mỗi quốc gia và vì lợi ích chung của hai nước. Và trên một cái nguyên tắc là lợi ích thì hài hòa, khó khăn rủi ro thì chia sẻ. Và chính phủ hai nước cố gắng là đã thuận lợi rồi, nhưng mà phải thuận lợi hơn nữa.
The community in Singapore has more than 20,000 people, who work diligently and always complies with local regulations, which is highly appreciated by the Singapore government and is really a bridge between the people of the two countries.
Singapore thực sự là trung tâm tài chính và kho công nghệ của vùng Đông Nam Á. Chúng ta có thể học các bạn kinh nghiệm về chuyển đổi số, về chuyển đổi xanh, và Việt Nam và Singapore có thể bổ trợ lẫn nhau. Đây là hai cái lĩnh vực mà Việt Nam và Singapore đang đầu tư và phát triển. Và tôi nghĩ là quan hệ Việt Nam Singapore trong thời gian tới sẽ còn rất nhiều dư địa để phát triển.
The two sides will continue to enhance the sharing of trust and coordination on regional strategic issues of mutual concern, including the East Sea issue. They will act as responsible members, actively contributing to the process of building a united and prosperous ASEAN community, while promoting its central role in maintaining peace, stability, and cooperation in the region and the world. Vietnam-Singapore. The story of an emotional friendship, from suspicion to trust, from confrontation to partnership. It is an extraordinary development crafted by remarkable individuals, a valuable lesson in fostering strategic trust.